What is the pettiest, silliest, most meaningless hill you are willing to die on? There was a hill near where I grew up that we called Top of the World, where you could see most of our small town. There was a little gravel parking lot where people could park, and it was maybe a 200-yard walk to the point. Not many people know about it except locals, and it was kind of windy, but if I had to pick a hill then I guess that would be the one. Edit. I'm referencing the Top of the World in Manhattan, Kansas. But after all of the comments and messages today, it seems like lots of small towns have their own Top of the World location. Thank you to everyone for the Reddit awards I didn't even know existed, for the kind words and fun memories today. I'm normally a lurker, but this was fun. He's a little confused, but he's got the spirit. Properly installed headlights should be ticketed aggressively. Blinding everyone in the road should be illegal. Edit. Wow, I didn't know this many people felt as strongly about this as I did. Y'all are good company. May your fellow drivers behind you drive dimly. Thank you for the gold/silvers. If you want to give, please donate to a COVID related fund instead and make the world just a little bit better. Had a buddy who had a no shit emergency spotlight in the back of his Jeep, inside the truck. It was hooked up to his electrical system for his subwoofers and pointed out the back window. Anyway, every once in a while he would get an asshole with the angled straight hood/high beams in a big lifted bulldozer who drive on his ass and flash him. He would hit them with essentially the Batman signal. They typically got the message. Edit. This was well over a decade ago. Yes, I would assume it was very much illegal. No, he didn't use it to flash little old ladies with high beams on, more in response to road raging tailgaters who lay on the horn and flash their lights. I was about to ask in this comment thread what is an effective way to message the person behind you that their lights are too bright. Thank you for this answer. That box of useless cables in my closet? You know, the one that has a bunch of old USB cables, RCA cables, even S-video cables, and a shitload of ACK adapters I can't find the ends for. Yeah, that box is mine, and I will never throw it away. Even if it only comes in handy once a year, I'll be damned if it doesn't feel great feeling like a dang hero when your friend or family member needs one of those useless cables for something. Edit. Wow, my first gold. Thanks. Also, because that feeling of realization of having a cable you need is unparalleled. I needed an optical audio cable once, and finding one in that was better than any high I've experienced yet. Having a cable you need is unparalleled, unless the cable you need is a DB25. Scrape your damn plate off before putting dishes into the dishwasher. I'm home from college right now, living in a 5-person home, and my sister is the only person who understands this. Everyone else basically puts meals in the dishwasher, or they let things like cereal get stuck to the plates and cups, which drives me crazy lol. It's a dishwasher, not a garbage can. In addition, if you leave napkins/paper towels on your plate and put them in the sink, you deserve the 9th circle of hell. My mom used to take plastic wrap off of stored items and put it into the sink instead of the fucking trash can that was the same distance from the sink. Every time you tried to do the dishes you'd end up with a handful of wet slimy plastic wrap. Blech. I always used to soak dishes before washing, probably an ancient habit I picked up from my parents, but the manual for my new dishwasher explicitly says that pre-washing is unnecessary, and there's a disposal/grinder in the bottom of the washer that takes care of excess food. Exciting times. Those new extra safe, high visibility headlights should not be installed in any vehicles larger than a wagon. I don't need LED spotlights pointing into my eyes from the front and all 3 mirrors. Seeing is fun for other drivers too. Improperly aimed headlights are terrifically unsafe, regardless of whether they're incandescent or LED, stock or aftermarket. That, and idiots who don't shut their brights off when other cars come. Personally, I have a lifted Jeep with aftermarket LED headlights. Prior to installing them, I could barely see the road without brights on. and even with brights, it felt unsafe on country back roads. I took care to aim them properly, mark line on wall, go 25 feet back, adjust, compare to original headlights, and actually made sure they shoot ever so slightly lower than my stock headlights. The only time I ever got flashed was when I was the idiot that forgot to shut my brights off, and I deserved it. Monopoly is an inherently unbalanced and badly designed game. On purpose. Whoever starts winning will simply keep winning, and the rest of the players get a slow slog to bankruptcy, and the winner is usually the most ruthless person at the table. This is why it breaks friendships. It was meant to show the unfairness of unregulated capitalism, and somehow it became an American classic. But compared to modern games, it's terrible. Preach. I remember when I got Monopoly for my Northeasts, and I was so excited, and got my friends together to play. And as I played I realized, with slow dawning horror, that you don't actually need a human to play Monopoly. The dice are random. There are few meaningful choices. You just set the stupid game to 4 CPU players, and no human ones, and then go do something else, and see how it all turned out later. That was it for me in Monopoly forever. Check out Candyland. You can set up the game then just look at how the cards are arranged, and figure out who is going to win. There isn't even random chance. Once the deck is shuffled, everything is predetermined. Educator here. Candyland is a tool designed to teach children how games are played. You take turns. You have a piece on the board that is yours, and you only get to move that one. You head in the direction of the finish line. You have to follow the card's instructions. Sometimes unpleasant things like missing a turn or your opponent jumping to the fairy castle happen, and you can't throw a fit or no one will want to play with you. We aren't born knowing these things, so Candyland is how you present the ideas to a child before exposing them to real games. If you want to make it a game of skill, rather than pure luck, on each turn a player draws 2 cards. They then get to decide which card to keep, and an opponent who receives the other card. Just this weekend my husband and I got into an argument because he claimed I fell asleep watching YouTube on my phone at 3 AM. I said I went to bed around 12. He's a web developer with a penchant for systems, so went to the home network. It showed no Wi-Fi traffic after 1 AM. Showed him my YouTube history. The thing I was watching was 2 hours long and was paused at 45 minutes in. So, he's wrong, but here it is Wednesday. He's still butthurt about it and claims I'm gaslighting him. This is such a stupid argument. Edit. I'm on mobile so it auto-corrected gaslighting to gaslightning. Love the comments correcting, making fun of the error so it stays. We have a great relationship. These stupid arguments that go nowhere are honestly part of being in a long-term relationship. He still kissed me goodbye, told me to have a great day this morning, so nobody is really mad. Just when you're around someone 24/7, gotta keep it interesting somehow, haha. Why does he care that you'd fell asleep watching YouTube? There comes a point when you've been with the same person for long enough that you don't even have meaningful arguments anymore. Shit, my parents have been together for almost 60 years, and the things they bicker about are hilariously pointless and or childish. If you put meat into a grilled cheese, it's not a gourmet grilled cheese. It's a melt. You're gonna say this and not do the copper pasta? Grilled cheese consists of only these following items: cheese, bread with spread, usually butter. This entire subreddit consists of melts. Almost every grilled cheese sandwich I see on here has other items added to it. The fact that this subreddit is called grilled cheese is nothing short of utter blasphemy. Let me start out by saying I have nothing against melts. I just hate their association with sandwiches that are not grilled cheeses. Adding cheese to your tuna sandwich? It's called a tuna melt. Totally different. Want to add bacon and some pretentious breadcrumbs with spinach? I don't know what the hell you'd call that, but it's not a grilled cheese. I would be more than willing to wager I've eaten more grilled cheeses in my 21 years than any of you had in your entire lives. I have one almost every day and sometimes more than just one sandwich. Want to personalize your grilled cheese? Use a mix of different cheeses or use sourdough or French bread. But if you want to add some pulled pork and take a picture of it, make your own subreddit entitled "Melts," because that is not a fucking grilled cheese. I'm not a religious man, nor am I anything close to a culinary expert. But as a bland white Midwestern male, I'm honestly the most passionate person when it comes to grilled cheese and mac and cheese. All of you foodies, stay the hell away from our grilled cheeses and stop associating your sandwich melts with them. Yet again, it is utter blasphemy and it rocks me to the core of my pale being. Shit, I stopped lurking after 3 years and made this account for the sole purpose of posting this. I've seen post after post of people's grilled cheeses all over Reddit, and it's been driving me insane. The moment I saw this subreddit this morning, I finally snapped. Hell, I may even start my own subreddit, just because I know this one exists now. You goddamn heretics. Respect the grilled cheese, and stop changing it into whatever you like and love it for what it is. Or make your damn melt sandwich, and call it for what it is. A melt. Red velvet cake is just a light chocolate cake filled with a ton of food coloring, and the only reason people like it is the cream cheese frosting. You'd be better off with a real chocolate cake with cream cheese frosting. Real red velvet cake is chocolate cake plus buttermilk or vinegar, and the acid reacts with non-Dutch processed cocoa powder and turns it red, a brick red, not a vibrant bright red. It is a distinctly tangier flavor than regular chocolate cake, and food coloring is not necessary to make it red. Sorry, you've only ever had bad red velvet. On-premise is not a valid shortening of on-premises. If you are going to be lazy, shorten it to on-prem for fuck's sake. People who think it's harmless to put a service dog vest on non-service dogs. It's a crime in 23 *US states. It's a crime because people who really need service dogs should be the ones to have that privilege, not your stupid little chihuahua that can't shut up. Why is it a crime? Please proceed to the following points. Most of these people let other people just pet their dogs, which leads them to believe that they can do that with all service animals. This is not safe. If you pet a service animal, you are distracting it from doing its job and could lead to the injury/death of its owner. Your animals are not trained service animals. It's obvious to anyone who understands anything about a well-trained animal and one that's just on a leash. An untrained animal in an unfamiliar situation creates stress for it as well as for the people around you. You are not entitled to put out other people/beings for your own comfort. I have seen people bring fake service dogs into court to intimidate domestic violence victims. People who bring their dogs to crowded convention events while the dog repeatedly bites them, and so many more. It's stupid and selfish. Just stop.